You're listening to the Awkward Pillow Talk podcast. I'm your host, Jason Class, along with my wife, OnlyFans model and self-proclaimed awkward chick, Stephanie Class. We're here to get the awkward stuff out of the way. This podcast is a true representation of our journey through anxiety and learning to love sex. If any of that offends you, we'd like to say, fuck you. Welcome back to another awkward review, and this one is less awkward and more life-changing.
Yes, for sure.
Let's do a little history lesson here.
Okay.
Jason has not always been the fit Jason that you see. I have always been beautiful. Always been beautiful, but I've been beautiful and chubby.
Mm-hmm.
I've been beautiful and fat. I would say that. But now I think I'm beautiful and fit.
Yeah.
And, I have really no credit to give to me personally.
Right. No gym.
There's no gym, no hard work. Anybody that knows me knows that I don't have routines.
You will take the quickest.
I'm looking for the easiest way possible.
Yep.
I always hung on to that one quote that Bill Gates, did, where he was like, if you want to get something done, you want to find the most efficient way to do something.
Yep.
Hire the laziest person. I am the hardest working, laziest person you will ever find. I want to do so much, but I want to do it the easiest way possible.
Yep.
So I will say that for me losing weight, though, I've been trying to lose weight since I was 16.
Yes.
Well, really before that, let's be honest.
Right.
But 16's really when I went to a doctor and was like, what the fuck, man?
You're like, help.
And I wasn't even that heavy, but I was 200 pounds at 16. And I remember in 8th grade, I was wrestling for heavyweight. So I was at least 190, something like that, around that time frame. So I went to the doctor, and of course, the first thing they do is give me phentermine. And I remember the first time I had phentermine, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm ready to go run a race.
Right.
Sign me up for the first marathon. I have never had this much motivation in my life.
Yeah.
However, after almost 17 years of taking it at this point.
On and off. Right.
Which is not good for your heart, y'all. It's not, just period. It does not really have that long-term effectiveness for me.
Right.
We're not giving you medical advice, y'all. We're just telling you our story.
Right.
But, so I've been on that for 17 years, like I said. And the lowest I ever got down was to 215 pounds. And that was right before we went to Jamaica for my 30th birthday. And I just barely touched 215 before going right back up.
Right.
And it was like, what the fuck do I have to do? I mean, I've hired a personal trainer. I've done everything. We did infrared lasers on our stomach at one point.
We tried,
we did the freezing things. We did the vibrating things.
We've done the dieting and the tracking, and we would hike for 5 miles every day. And nothing was working. And look, part of the issue, obviously, is that we're picky eaters. So I get that. But I can't eat salmon. I can't eat chicken. I can't eat the healthy stuff. You all say, hey, get over it. I'm a child. I can't get over it. So if me changing my diet to eat that kind of stuff was going to be the fix to this, it just wasn't going to happen because I had a mental block. Right.
So fast forward to really anxiety and all this kind of stuff coming into play. And I'm like, why the fuck am I feeling this way? Right. And I'm feeling sluggish. I'm feeling tired.
Right.
I will say that I never had a lack of libido. But I was just like, what the hell is going on? You were kind of in the same mood. And I was like, I got to do something to get you out of this funk, because your funk affects my funk, which affects everything.
And I was trying. I wasn't
You knew that you were in a funk. You weren't denying it.
I just couldn't get out of it.
We didn't know what the solution was. And obviously healthcare is, for a creator, just not the easiest fucking thing.
Right.
So it's not like we're just going to be able to go to a doctor and be like, hey, doc, what's up? We had to do some research on our own. And then when we pull the trigger, we spend the money on the treatment.
Right.
So we did our research on it, and I did it first because I tried to get you to take the damn test, and you were just refusing. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to do it myself. That way, I can at least attest and say, hey, it works. You should try it.
Right.
So I started with a company and did TRT therapy and stuff. And I just wasn't getting really the support that I needed from it. And I felt like it wasn't working. And it was also getting more and more expensive. It was like, I'm not getting
the results from, they're like, oh, you need a higher dose. It's going to be another $100.
Right.
And then it would be like, oh, before we put you on a higher dose, though, you got to get a blood test, and the blood test is going to be this much.
You have to have it, or else we will not.
Which is fine, because I understand that testosterone it's a substance that has to be controlled.
Right, I get it.
But for me, being uninsured, it was such a thing that was just like, they weren't explaining it to me like I needed to. So after about 4 months of that, and me not losing any weight, I decided to get off of that program.
Right.
And I found somebody local and kind of was like, look, I kind of have an idea how I want to run this plan myself. And I told him, and he basically was like, yeah, okay, let's try it.
Right.
So we tried it that way. And all of a sudden I started losing weight.
Right.
So let's, fast forward to semaglutide. Right. So I lost weight. I got down to 215, something like that.
Yeah.
When I was with just the testosterone TRT therapy.
It was at least 30 pounds.
At least 30 pounds, because I started at 250.
Yeah. So.
Yep. Started at 250 and got down to 215 off of testosterone alone. That's with me doing nothing. I mean,
literally just doing the testosterone.
I have a lot of sex. I do have a lot of sex.
But other than that, you ride your bike, but
not hard. I don't go work out. I'm not like, oh, hey, let me go work out.
We live in Florida. It's flat.
Yeah, I really I live a very relaxing life.
Right.
So there's no reason I should have lost that much, other than the fact that my chemical balance was thrown off.
It was now getting.
So I'm like, this is interesting. But I was still on phentermine at the time.
Right.
And I really wanted to kind of get off phentermine. Because I know that over long term, phentermine can have some effects on your heart and stuff. And I've been reading about semaglutide, and not only is it supposed to help you lose weight, but it's also supposed to be good for your heart and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I called a doctor. Again, I used, terrible medical services because we have terrible insurance. But I called a doctor, and it was like, hey, this is something I'm looking into getting into. And she goes, this is not the drug you think it is. This is not a miracle. You're not just going to suddenly drop weight. No, I will not prescribe it to you.
It was really weird.
It was really weird how negative she was about it. And I'm like, okay. Never being deterred once in my entire life, I just went somewhere else. And they prescribed it to me. It was really expensive, but I decided that I was going to get a bottle for me and a bottle for you. And we would start out at the lowest dose and just kind of see what happened. The only side effect, well, there's two side effects.
Okay.
Negative. There's plenty of positive side effects.
Right.
The two negative ones that we discovered were that it kind of makes you feel like you got to shit.
All the time.
Yeah, but not I think it's more in the beginning when you start taking it.
Yeah.
Once you get used to it and you understand that your body's new signals, because it's basically slowing down things.
Right.
Then you're like, all right. The other one is if you get up really fast, you can get lightheaded.
Yep.
So those are two things to look out for, I will say. And just in our experience, other people obviously can have their own,
right.
side effects.
I mean, they could all be different.
Right.
But.
So for us, those are the negatives. The positives, though, I'm down to 190 pounds, and I feel awesome.
Yeah.
I feel great. My knees don't hurt anymore. I can do pull-ups.
Yeah, you got to pull. What are the?
I went out and bought a fucking pull-up bar.
Yeah.
Because I can do pull-ups for the first time in my life, y'all.
Yeah.
I
can't yet.
I was like, all right, I'm going to see if this works. And I just hung, and I just pulled myself up from a hanging position. And I was like, oh, look at this.
You're like, come here. So I came running in the room thinking he was dying, not knowing that he was doing the pull-ups.
I've literally only used it for that. I just wanted to see if I could do a pull-up.
And that was it. It's been sitting.
It's been sitting around since. But I can do a fucking pull-up now. And I'm telling y'all, I'm fucking lazy. Yes. Okay? I'm lazy and I'm honest.
Right.
I don't want you coming back and being like, hey, you lied to me.
This didn't work. And obviously everybody's body is different. But I'm fucking telling you, this shit is a miracle. Yeah.
I'm lighter than I was in 8th grade.
Which is crazy.
I never thought I could, look like this.
And we're only what?
We barely touched it.
Yeah.
So get ready, because this is essentially the start, right? We've teamed up now with Fire Body,
Yes.
FYR Body.
FYR, yeah.
I talked to the CEO and I felt his passion for it.
It was pretty cool. Like I wasn't on the call, but I was there.
You could feel my energy. I was buzzing afterwards, and I'm pretty sure he was buzzing as well.
Right.
But I talked to the CEO, Aaron, and like he understands that this is a life-changing product that needs to be in more people's hands.
Right.
This is not that fucking shake that's gonna have you lose 10 pounds in 30 days. This is the fucking solution.
Right, like you don't.
There is no other fucking weight loss programs that you need to deal with. This is it, hands down.
And like I've been taking it as well, and I've noticed a significant change as well. Like I mean, mine's not as drastic as yours, but I have still I've struggled since having the kids.
Yeah, you were I think you started at 158.
Like I think the biggest I ever was. I mean, I was obviously pregnant, but I think like 160 was like my absolute biggest, which was like mortifying to me because I was like 100 pounds soaking wet in high school. Like I was super tiny, super thin. Obviously, things change, but I just couldn't lose the weight.
You walked 1,000 miles in a year.
Yeah.
Like that was your goal. Like you had such workout goals.
Right. Okay, I didn't want to go to the gym.
You were doing sit-ups. You were doing push-ups.
Yeah,
you were doing VR fitness. I mean, we did.
I had an app where I was tracking my calories and this, that, and the other.
You still track them?
I still do. Not as much as I used to.
Because
because this has been working. Like I'm like able to be like, okay, well, I'm not hungry.
It gives you time.
Maybe I forget to like log something, and I
think that's what it really is it gives you time to think, right?
Right.
It is such a cool, weird medication because like I'll have a craving for something, I will go walk and basically touch it and then be like, yeah, no, that's not it. And if the craving even gets as far as me taking a bite, and I've trained myself to know now, like I'm going to pull off a bite.
Right.
Instead of taking it. Sometimes I'll just have that bite and be like, yeah, no, I'm good. That was it. I've never in my life had that kind of self-control.
We used to do like a bag of chips every night between the two of us. Like that was like our thing. Or like, I don't know, like there's just something.
So many bad habits that we have had that this has helped take care of.
And like, I know like I get like the low blood sugar. So I'm like, okay, let me go get something to eat. So I'll go get like a string cheese. But like even halfway through that, it's like my body's like, okay, you got what you needed, but now please don't finish it. Like, and it almost like not makes you feel sick. But it's like you have to like almost listen to your body and it being saying like, hey, you're good. You don't actually need this. And so like that's I think the biggest adjustment is listening to your body and knowing that even though your brain's saying, hey, you should eat this, your body's telling you, no, you're good. Don't eat it. So.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we've discussed because I heard about it through other people was like, don't eat through the medication. Right. Like if you feel full, listen to your body and just stop. And it is amazing how good it makes you feel though. Like you really don't miss it.
Right.
Like that's what I always worried about with dieting is am I going to feel like I'm missing out on something? Am I going to feel sluggish? I didn't feel really a loss of energy. Now, I will say that one thing that is great with the semaglutide that's being offered through this group Fire is that they actually have it mixed in with B12.
Yes.
So that was one of the things that they kept telling me that we were like low on. Every time we got our blood done, they're like, hey, you guys are good on everything, but B12 is you're low on. And that's another one of those shots that I can't just get like
and like, yeah, we
anywhere.
Can take like the pills.
It comes in energy drinks, but your body doesn't metabolize it the same way as it does if you were to get it injected.
Right.
So the fact that it's going to be able to be injected with semaglutide now is like going to be hopefully a game changer for us too.
Right.
I'm so excited about that. But look, guys, if you want to try it, we do have a discount code now.
Yes.
So firebody.com/awkward talk. Use the code awkward talk. And that's FYRBODY. Use the code awkward talk and we'll give you $100 off your first round of semaglutide.
Right.
Or if you decide to go with TRT therapy, we will waive that prescription fee. There's a one-time prescription fee that you have to have. It's usually $79 and they'll waive it. I never wanted to be a weight loss spokesperson.
No, I
thought it was bullshit. I always remember this one weight loss thing. Was this guy talking about like testosterone, or no, Bowflex, the Bowflex. And he was like, I'm in my 40s and I feel great now. And he's like playing bass guitar and shit. And I was like, and he's bald, of course. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of it. But I was like, what a loser. Like, who would ever do a workout commercial like that? Like, he's obviously been paid. Like, nope.
He just...
I want to say first off, like, as of now, I have received zero money or product or anything from FYR. I can say 100% this is not a paid endorsement for semaglutide or
the
TRT or anything else. But we are teaming up with them.
Yes.
Because I sought them out because I know how powerful this is.
And we know
I interviewed companies to make sure that whoever it was that we teamed up with was not just going to like take advantage of my people, right? Because I'm very protective over my
like, I mean,
my
why
brand.
would we push something if we get like a deal, if you will, and then our people get screwed? Like that kind of just doesn't sit well with us.
Nope, absolutely not. So this is a way for you to change your life and to help support us. We don't get a ton back on this if you do go through that link, but we do get something. And really, more importantly, we have a relationship with Firebody, and I want to get this relationship growing with them, and I want to get this product out because I think this is important, life-changing stuff.
Exactly.
Even if you were not overweight, y'all, look into the benefits of semaglutide. It is known to be able to give you longevity. All right. They're talking about heart health long-term. This stuff is absolutely magical. Again, I'm not a doctor. I played tuba in college. Okay.
Yep.
So don't listen to me there.
Zero medical experience.
All I can do is I can tell you what I've tried, and I can tell you that I'm a skeptical motherfucker.
And this stuff.
I mean, the proof is right here. Look at this shit. Like, I'm not perfect yet, but like, look, like you can see the fucking loose skin that I had.
Yep.
Like,
and like I said, my journey is still going. I still have a little ways to go, but
we've only been on the lowest dose ever of semaglutide, and this worked. Now the semaglutide doses go up. Obviously from there there's like 3 or 4 different doses higher.
Right.
So the fact that we've been able to go down to this on just the smallest dose should say something. Look, y'all, best bet to do is to talk to the doctor at Firebody though. I cannot.
Like you said, the CEO is super cool. Yep. Like, you know, you physically spoke to him. So it wasn't like you talked to somebody who talked to somebody who talked to somebody who talked to him. You spoke to the CEO of Fire. And I don't know.
Yeah, this isn't like a relationship that we just pulled off the shelf and just said, "Hey, we're going to promote this."
Because like you said, we shopped several places, and not that we didn't get bad vibes from others, but like
well, there was some that I decided, do I want to go after this or not? Right. So we send out. We're probably going too far into this, but like, it doesn't really matter. You guys like listen to my stories. Essentially,
welcome to our life.
We reached out to a few different places, and obviously, I'm expecting rejections from everybody at this point. There's only one that I really wanted to go after because I felt like the vibe was closer to what I was looking for.
Okay.
And I felt like they could use our edge because that's the edginess that we are able to have with our brand is something that I think is valuable to other brands if they are comfortable getting into that market space. And I also mentioned that you and I are just so damn comfortable with each other that we would love to be able to do tutorial videos. I mean, that's one thing that when we were looking into starting you doing injections for TRT, for me, and semaglutide, we were looking for like how-to videos and stuff. And they all just kind of sucked.
Yeah, because like not that I like am uncomfortable with it, but like I want to do it right. Like I don't want to be wasting this stuff and it not be effective. So we did our research, we did our like search to make sure we're doing it all correctly. Yeah,
so I think that's what we're going to start doing for other people too, is we want to be able to provide the same information that we were missing on our journey. And we're going to get, some of the medical professionals that we know involved, some involved from Fire, and have them kind of talk to us about it, ease any anxieties you may have. We're also going to create a group, an awkward weight loss group on Facebook.
Oh, are we?
Yep.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. And that way we can kind of post about our weight loss for anybody that's been on it without having the judgment of the regular crowd in there. And I mean, obviously, if you know who we are, it's going to be one of those Facebook groups. But like, hey, look, if you're going to lose weight, let's have fun, right? Like,
let's not take things too seriously.
I'm telling y'all.
But take this seriously.
You've seen me. You've seen me be a fat tuba player. You've seen me be a fat rock star. I've even been a fat porn star.
You've seen me through my journey, if like you know me in real life, through pregnancies and the aftercare and how hard I worked and this, that, and the other, and just nothing seemed to work. And then all of a sudden, it worked. Like,
yeah, we're not saying we're there, but we're saying,
like I said, I am not where I am at, but like I am within.
I am so far into the journey that I know that this is the key to it.
It was one of those things though. Like once I gained all the weight, I had always had this like, I hate goals where I can't actually achieve them. So I set little itty bitty goals. You are the big goal person. I am the little itty bitty goal person where I'm like, okay, I can actually achieve this. And so like I kept doing like little goals where I was like, okay, I'm going to get down to 150. I'm going to get down to 145. And then, but like in the back of my head, I was always like, okay, 120, 125 is like the just like far out there. I am never going to achieve this, but like in the back, nice. I was like, but it would be really cool if one day it ever happened. But I was like, but there's just absolutely no way. And I'm telling you, I got there. I mean, we've kind of fluctuated since, but I got there. I got to 125 and it was like, holy shit. Like I did not know I could get down that low. And
yeah,
it was, like I said,
we allowed fluctuation because of the beginning of the school year.
Yeah.
But and we stopped taking semaglutide for a while because we decided we wanted to find a company that would understand and understand how excited and like convinced we are about this. Like we're gonna sell this to family and friends too. Like we're gonna put this up on Facebook, y'all. Mm-hmm. We're gonna wear different clothes. Yeah. But like that's how sold I am on this. Like I don't give a fuck anymore because I would rather people in my life understand how important this is and to get healthy than for them to. I mean, they can judge me. They're already probably judging me anyways. What you can judge me about my big dick? Go for it.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Hey, another side effect. Did my dick not grow?
Well, we don't know if it was that or if it was. Anyways, that's for a different time.
Life is good, y'all. Check it out.
Yeah.
awkwardtalk.com for us.
Mm-hmm. Do we have one of the links in there yet?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they go. Actually, I think it might be a pop-up right now.
Oh,
you go there. It should be one of the first things that pops up, Firebody.
Oh, okay.
But if not, then you go to our affiliate links and you'll see it there as well. Or you go to firebody.com/awkward talk.
Yep.
Y'all, I'm going to talk about this a lot.
And hopefully you can see once,
the fact that I'm doing this before they even fucking paid me.
Right.
Should say enough. That's why I wanted to get this done.
Like, also, stay tuned for the continuation of.
Yeah, we're going to share this, y'all. This is going to be a journey, and hopefully you guys come along with us on the journey. It's going to be
share your results, share your successes, and we'll share ours because like it's one of those things where like you
try to share it online and you feel like everybody wants to shame you for it. You know what I mean?
It's uncomfortable, or no, everyone's like, oh well, you did. Well, I did weight loss this way, but you did weight loss that way. Well, my way is better than your way. It does not matter. If you are getting healthy and you are taking care of yourself and just living who you are, share it. Because even, I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, it helps boost the confidence, which then in turn continues on the positive journey.
I just can't tell you how happy it's made us.
Yeah.
Like, it's a dream come true. If I could have like made a magic wish to a genie at one point, it would have been to have this body.
Right.
I mean, I have been working so fucking hard all my life, and I just didn't realize that it was just a chemical imbalance, y'all.
Right.
I've been made fun of. I mean, everything. I am the kid that was, teased for being fat, in elementary school, middle school, high school even. You know what I mean? It wasn't that I was being lazy or anything. It's the chemical imbalance
You
was
just
there.
never knew.
I just
And
never
nobody
fucking knew.
ever tried
And
to
now
help
I'm
you.
up. So is that too much?
We could just go ahead and say, all right, check it out, guys.
All right, check it out, guys. Thanks.
See ya.